What's this? Your boy Leon is back to some nerdy news. That is right, friends. I have plundered the internet and I found some pretty incredible news about the live-action One Piece adaptation on Netflix. Welcome back to Words of Paradise. I'm your host, Leon Idol, and if the news can be trusted, which, to be fair, it's the news, it's fair to question whether or not it can be trusted, but if it can be trusted, then it seems like we're getting some positive reviews for a live-action anime adaptation. Let's go to this article from The Direct and take a look at it, shall we? Netflix's One Piece reviews, critics share strong first reactions, and here we go. And I'm going to be real with you guys, I've been saying it from the beginning. The trailer had me very mixed, because the acting that we saw in the trailer, and it was just a teaser, was god-awful. However, so much of it did look really good, far more than I can say for any other live-action anime adaptation. I also have had the very high hopes that they're being honest about Eiichiro Oda's involvement being there every step of the way, instead of that just being lip service. And just maybe there's some truth to all this. The first reviews of Netflix's live-action One Piece series are here, and they are overwhelmingly positive. Fans are finally headed to the grand line yet again, with Netflix's latest anime to live-action project hitting the service. And you know what? I'm going to say it right now. Right here. Inaki Godoy, or Gotti, or Godoy, however you say this dude's name, I don't know. It's a language that I don't speak. But the point is, he is how you do a live-action anime casting. Not only does he look nearly perfect for the role, but he's enthusiastic. He is clamoring about this role. He is telling everyone what a big fan he is, how much he loves the project. You can tell with the genuine smile on his face. He toured like the Funimation offices, if I remember right, and just looked at all the Dragon Ball and One Piece merchandise and looked like he was in weeb heaven. Like, this man, truly, I said this man, I don't know how old he is, really, this boy, that's what he's playing a boy. This boy is in love with the property, or if he's not in love with the property, my god, is he a fantastic actor, because he's doing a great job of faking it. Like, purely based on his enthusiasm has gotten me even more jazzed for the show than I already was, because I was going in with just a sort of tepid, hopeful kind of assurance here. But what can I say? Like just Inaki alone has made me incredibly hopeful for this. Netflix One Piece is based on the manga and anime of the same name, both of which have been regularly releasing new stories centered on the stretching hero Luffy and his band of Straw Hat Pirates for over 20 years. And after recent flops like the live-action Death Note film and Cowboy Bebop series, some had wondered if Netflix's efforts in reimagining classic anime was a fool's errand. And it was not just Death Note and Cowboy Bebop. Now granted, those are like the American remakes, but don't forget, there was also the live-action Bleach movie, which was awful, the live-action Full Metal Alchemist movie, which compared to all the rest, wasn't exactly bad, but still not exactly the greatest. And of course, there's the infinite, and while this wasn't Netflix, of course, the infamous Dragon Ball Evolution, probably the worst of them all. That said, while people have debated whether or not Pokemon is more anime or video game and whatnot, you know, Pokemon Detective Pikachu, you could call that a live-action anime adaptation. Pokemon is just as famous for its anime as everything else, and you know, that one was pretty okay with Detective Pikachu, but again, most people would call that a video game adaptation, and I can see why. So all in all, I'm genuinely excited about this, especially since they're saying, they're calling out here that, yeah, we all know that Death Note and Cowboy Bebop were awful. Also, side note, Death Note, there's the jury's out on that, in my opinion, on whether that's awful. It's awful as an adaptation of the manga, but I think that if it was called something else, it would have been a far more palatable movie. Anyway, however, early test screenings indicated that One Piece could be the one to break the mold. One Piece gets glowing first reactions. Like, look, I am loving this art here. Like, I'm sure this is probably some sort of filter to make it look more hand-drawn and cartoony, but this looks like they're taking the manga, taking the anime, and, like, making it live action, but they care about the fact that this is an animated / hand-drawn property. So, just the art, the promotional material is doing this show so much justice. I truly hope all these individuals giving it these positive reviews are being honest, or frankly have taste. With just a week before its release, that's right, we are only 6 days away as of the recording of this video, 6 days, and we get to watch this show in all its glory. You know your boy's gonna be watching it, and I will of course give you guys my full review and thoughts, of course as a One Piece fan, not just as some sort of YouTuber that covers nerdy stuff. While I do cover nerdy stuff, I'm a legitimate One Piece fan, so I'm gonna be adequately harsh, but also very, very hopeful of this product. Critics posted their live-action One Piece reviews. Early returns indicate the Netflix adaptation of the hit anime could break the anime to live-action curse, with the series cast, VFX, and pirate story getting showered with praise. Yeah, baby! Megan Peters from ComicBook.com revealed she had watched Season 1 several times now, and it's good. Now, I will say, ComicBook.com awful outlet, just an absolute shill source. So yeah, I'm not gonna exactly take her response that, oh, it's good. I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt, because anything that comicbook.com says is good usually is a flaming dumpster fire. But it's just one person from comicbook.com. The news is out. I've seen Netflix One Piece, and while I cannot say much, I can say this before all my coverage goes live. I've watched season 1 several times now. It's good. Crunchyroll, here we go, another awful outlet. Like Crunchyroll is, in my opinion, single-handedly the reason that modern anime, maybe not single-handedly, but almost single-handedly the reason that modern anime is the travesty and dumpster fire that it tends to be as of late. They've done a horrid job introducing anime to the modern consciousness, to the Western, modern audiences, and I hate that term, modern audiences, but that's what Crunchyroll is want to do, change things, Americanize them, Westernize them, put in, political propaganda, whatnot, with their dubbing. They do the same stuff as Funimation. In fact, I think they're owned by Funimation now. I could be wrong there, but either way, yeah, I don't care what Crunchyroll has to say, because they've just bastardized what it means to be a weeb in the modern era. But let's see what they've got to say. Daniel Dockery also remained fairly tight-lipped, calling the series good as well. I can't say much, and I'll be writing a ton about it later, but I've seen the live-action One Piece in its entirety, and y'all, it's good. Mo Husin, of The Streamer, I've never heard of this outlet, remarked that the series is the real deal. He added the Netflix One Piece will hopefully be remembered as the king of the Netflix shows. Now, I don't know if it's going to be the king of the Netflix shows. I mean, it's got to compete with Daredevil. But if it can compete with Daredevil and one-up it, your boy will be ecstatic. Not elastic like Luffy, but ecstatic. Having seen all 8 episodes of Netflix upcoming One Piece and having minimal exposure to the source materials, oh dear, somebody who's minimally exposed to the source material. See, that's what I'm worried about. A bunch of individuals giving reviews that don't know the source material. And of course, they might call it good. They got no frame of reference. However, if you are familiar with the source material, that's a lot of times what makes anime adaptations horrid, is the fact that they don't adhere to the source material. Now, to be fair, from the trailer we've seen, I don't think that we really have to worry about that when it comes to One Piece, but it is pretty telling when people say they're not familiar with the source material. Obviously, somebody like Megan Peters from comicbook.com, I don't know if she's familiar with the source material either, but given that she works for a shill website, I'm sure she will claim she is, but absolutely is not. I can say that this is the show fans of live-action manga and/or anime adaptations have wanted. This is the real deal. How can you say that if you don't know anything about the source material, bro? No. I don't trust Mo Husin at all. The dynamic camera work with slick VFX, a killer cast, and understanding of story, and specifically how to write, direct, and produce big-budget episodic media. Well, of course, I mean, to be fair, as long as they're following the story of the manga, obviously it will work. This is a manga that's been going for over 20 years. Do it right in its episodic nature, and of course it'll work. It's already been working in an episodic nature on TV and obviously in comic book, manga form. So yeah, I think that's more speaks to, can Netflix do it properly? But I don't know, it strikes me as strange that he's like, episodic media. Yeah, no, it's tried, true, and tested that it works as episodic media. This will hopefully stand tall to be remembered as king of the Netflix shows. Critic Wildy Patrol on X, formerly known as Twitter, wrote they were pleasantly surprised by the adaptation, complimenting the vast scale of the show. As someone who's become much more familiar with the anime in the past year... with the anime in the past year. I thought it said with anime in the past year. I'm like, you cannot get acquainted with an entire medium, not genre, because anime is an amalgamation of several different genres that make up a medium. But okay, he said with the, yeah, you can get familiar with anime in the past year. This particular one, that's fine. I have to say I was pleasantly surprised to see the series brought to life with so much love. The scale of the show was vast, and so much dedication was put into just about every aspect of it. I love that he's using the word vast. That is what, in my opinion, sticks out the most in the trailer, is the set design. It truly makes the world of One Piece in live action look vast, like the anime does, like the manga does, and I can't believe they put that much time, effort, and budget, given what we see in the trailer at least, into the actual world building and the sets. The set design is the best part of the trailer so far. The Straw Crew felt like they've been brought to life perfectly, he continued in a follow-up post praising the cast. The shining stars here are the show's cast. The Straw Crew, I don't know why he doesn't say Straw Hat Crew, like you're making me question your credibility here, feel like they've been brought to life perfectly, especially Luffy. That's right, especially Luffy, and that's because Inaki Godoy, or Godoy, whatever, it's because he is perfect for the role. His youthful exuberance and want to play this particular character is going to show on the screen. Anytime we've seen, again, I think his acting, given the trailers, maybe is not necessarily the best acting. I hope I'm wrong and that maybe they just chose some bad clips from the trailers, but his enthusiasm so much outweighs the mid-tier acting in my opinion. The only one I'm truly worried about when it comes to acting, based on what we saw in the trailer, was Nami. She was not good. Now, it did not give us a lot to go off of, so I am reserving judgment, but going off of the trailer, ooh, I really hope the actress that plays Nami is going to put in a bit more work than what they showed off. Comicbook.com's Evan Valentine, here we are at comicbook.com again, took a shot at some of Netflix's other anime adaptations, opining this is not Cowboy Bebop. Cannot stress that enough. I've seen Netflix's One Piece and can confirm it does the source material justice and then some. I think anime fans and newcomers to the Grand Line will be surprised at what the show has to offer. This is not Cowboy Bebop. Cannot stress that enough. Well, I'm glad the shill media is at least coming to the realization that Cowboy Bebop is awful, because if you guys remember when the show was airing and when it got canceled, they were all over talking about how amazing it was and how upset, angry fanboys got it canceled and how they don't let people have nice things because of their rampant fanboyism and sexism and all the other isms and phobes and whatnot. So, yeah, at least the tides are turning on that awful show when it comes to the shill media. What do One Piece's good reviews mean for the series? One Piece fans have been waiting with bated breath to see if Netflix's adaptation of the hit manga and anime would live up to its name. Well, if these early reactions are any indication, it looks as though the streamer may have a hit on its hands. For over 20 years, One Piece has been one of the most beloved titles in anime, as fans have grown up with the series in its over 1,100 episodes. While the anime has picked up plenty of fans over the years, the gargantuan episode count has become a hurdle for the series, with audiences intimidated to give the pirating series a shot. That is why the prospect of a live-action show was so exciting for some. It's a new entry point for fans remaining faithful to the source material and might even turn on some to give the anime a chance. Wouldn't that be amazing? I know there are individuals out there. In fact, I can be in trouble for doing this times. I'm guilty of it, being like, oh, yeah, of course now that something's popular, you're a fan of it. Like, are you really a fan, or are you just out here giving props because it's the new cool thing to do? Like, I remember when I was getting beat up for liking superheroes in 4th grade, and here you are talking about how amazing Avengers are, now that once when you were like captain of the cheerleader squad, now you're rolling around in Marvel shirts. Like, yeah, all of us old school nerds have times where we can get bitter. But that being said, One Piece is one of those journeys that is so damn incredible. I do hope this really gets normies invested in it and it gets them to watch the anime. Maybe that will get them into other anime as well, and the genre can stop being stigmatized. I don't know. I'm very, very worried and a bit trepidatious about normies getting into anime culture, because when normies get into anime culture, they try and change it for their normie sensibilities instead of accepting it as it is. We've seen that time and time again with anime and anything Japanese, really, video games, trying to be canceled because it doesn't match Western sensibilities. But if they can set that aside and realize, hey, let's get into this and accept the Eastern side of things, see how they do it without trying to shove their Western version of whatever they think it should be into it. Maybe this could open a really cool dialogue between normies and weebs. The fact that, man, I am being really optimistic. You can tell it's going to be a good day for me. The fact that the live action show looks to actually be good means even more people will be willing to give it, take the dive into the world of the Straw Hat Pirates and their quest for the Grand Line. And given how the sheer scope of the One Piece story has grown over the years, there's plenty for the Netflix series to tackle should the live action adaptation prove a success and get greenlit for future seasons. Netflix has not yet confirmed a season 2 of the live action show, but the word is showrunner Matt Owens has been working on it per SK Anime, so if the series proves to be a hit, fans should expect even more out of the world of One Piece on the streamer. Netflix One Piece is set to debut on the platform Thursday, August 31st, 6 days from now, baby! Yes, if you guys couldn't tell, I am very excited for this. Now, do I think that I will be let down? It's hard to say, because obviously there's a reputation for live-action anime and how poorly done it is, but I've also seen a renaissance of video games being adapted as movies as of late that have worked incredibly well. So, I don't know, with the right direction, with the right cast, with the right care given to the source material, I think this could work. Now, granted, I thought the same thing about Cowboy Bebop, because they told us that Shinichiro Watanabe, the creator, was going to be involved in that, and it turned out to be lip service, and he came out saying, yeah, no, I was hardly involved at all, they put my name on it, and it was so hard I didn't even watch past the first scene. I don't think that's what Oda is going to let happen with One Piece. You cannot taint the legacy of an ongoing property that has been around for 20 plus years. But you know what? If it does suck, we do still always have the anime and the manga, and it really can't be worse than half the awful One Piece video games out there. But that's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments down below, or let me know on Twitter, X, where you can find me at BoltTheWord. And please do subscribe. I am a nerdy news channel. I cover nerdy news every day. Now doing 2 videos a day. That's right. I've got another video dropping today at 3 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, because you're watching this hopefully when it drops at 11. And if not, let's say it's later, go back, watch them all. I got plenty of nerdy content for you guys to just chomp at the bit at. I go back almost every single day. It's crazy. But until then, it's all here in the Nerdosphere. And this has been Words of Paradise.